In the 1970s, airline cockpits operated under one sacred rule. The captain was God, his word was law, his decisions were final. This wasn't just company policy, it was a military mindset carved into aviation's DNA. First officers didn't question. Flight engineers stayed silent, even when death was staring them in the face. December 28, 1978. United Flight 173 circles Portland for over an hour. The fuel was running dangerously low. The crew knew it, but nobody dared challenge the captain. March 27, 1977. Tenerife Airport shrouded in fog. Two jumbo jets racing toward each other on the same runway. The first officer sees disaster approaching. He tries to speak up. His captain dismisses him. 583 people die. January 13, 1982. Air Florida Flight 90 prepares for takeoff in a blizzard. Ice readings are wrong. The first officer knows it. But hierarchy silences him once again. 3 disasters. 792 souls lost. All because brilliant pilots couldn't speak truth to power. The aviation industry was about to learn a devastating lesson about the price of silence. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. December 28, 1978. United Flight 173 approaches Portland International Airport with 157 souls on board. At 5:02 p.m., as the landing gear extends, a loud thunk echoes through the cockpit. Captain Malburn McBroom feels an unusual vibration. The landing gear indicator shows an abnormal reading. McBroom immediately pulls up, aborting the landing. His mind fixates on one thing: the malfunction. For the next hour, the DC-8 circles Portland in a holding pattern while McBroom obsesses over the landing gear problem. First Officer Rodney Price glances nervously at the fuel gauges. The needles are dropping toward the red zone. Flight Engineer Forrest Mendenhall calculates their remaining fuel. His stomach drops. They're running out of time. But Captain McBroom remains laser-focused on the landing gear. He's convinced they need more time to assess the mechanical issue. Price tries to subtly mention their fuel situation. His voice is hesitant, respectful. He's been trained never to challenge the captain's authority. Mendenhall grows more desperate. He mentions fuel levels again and again, but his warnings are dismissed or ignored. The cultural hierarchy is absolute. Junior officers don't override senior captains, even when lives hang in the balance. As the minutes tick by, the fuel gauges reach critical levels. 157 passengers continue. March 27th, 1977. Tenerife Airport. 2 Boeing 747s sit shrouded in thick fog. Captain Jacob Veldhuizen van Zanten, KLM's chief instructor pilot, makes a decision that will haunt aviation forever. Without clearance, he begins his takeoff roll. Another 747 sits directly in his path. 583 people die in seconds. The deadliest aviation disaster in history. But Tenerife wasn't alone. December 28th, 1978. United Flight 173 circles Portland. The captain obsesses over a landing gear light. His crew watches the fuel gauges drop towards zero. Engine number 4 dies. Then engine number 2. The massive DC-8 begins its death spiral. 10 people die, all because no one dared challenge the captain's priorities. January 13th, 1982. Washington, D.C., Air Florida Flight 90 sits covered in ice. First Officer Larry Wheaton sees the ice. He knows they're not ready, but Captain Arlen Williams dismisses his concerns. The Boeing 737 struggles into the air. Ice-covered wings cannot generate lift. Flight engineer Roger Pettit's final transmission echoes through the tower. "We're going down. We're going down." 78 souls lost to the Potomac River. Another tragedy born from aviation's deadliest rule. 3 disasters. Hundreds dead. All because the captain was always right. But the black boxes would tell a different story. When investigators finally listened to the black box recordings, they couldn't believe what they heard. In all 3 disasters, the warnings were there. Clear, repeated, and completely ignored. The Tenerife black box revealed the most chilling truth of all. Air traffic control had tried desperately to warn the Dutch captain. But the radio transmission was blocked by interference. The captain never heard the words that could have saved 583 lives. United Flight 173's recording was even more disturbing. The flight engineer calculated their fuel 17 times. 17 desperate attempts to get the captain's attention. Each time he spoke in suggestions. Never direct commands. The hierarchy demanded it. Air Florida's black box captured First Officer Roger Pettit's growing panic. Quote, "That's not right. Boy, this is a losing battle here. I don't think that's right." He knew they were about to die, but he couldn't bring himself to directly challenge his captain. The black boxes had exposed aviation's darkest secret. It wasn't mechanical failure killing hundreds of passengers. It was pride, hierarchy, and the deadly belief that captains could never be wrong. From the ashes of those 792 deaths, aviation would undergo its most radical transformation in history. The 1980s brought something unprecedented. Airlines began teaching captains to do the unthinkable, listen to their subordinates, question their own decisions, admit when they were wrong. It was called crew resource management, and it shattered decades of aviation tradition overnight. Junior officers learned scripts, exact phrases to challenge dangerous decisions without backing down. "Captain, I'm concerned about our fuel state." "Captain, I disagree with this approach." "Captain, I'm taking control." The results were immediate. Aviation accidents began plummeting at rates no one thought possible. Today's cockpits operate under ironclad protocols. Any crew member can ground an aircraft for safety concerns. Captains are required to explain their reasoning. Crews must voice disagreements before it's too late. The transformation created the safest era in aviation history. Commercial flying became statistically safer than driving to the airport. Those 11 minutes of terror that claimed 792 lives now save thousands annually. Every safe landing today carries their legacy. Every captain who listens honors their sacrifice. The deadliest accident in aviation history became its greatest teacher. Sometimes tragedy writes the most important lessons. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more stories that change the world forever.